Hello everyone, Dibz here, and today I have a Tracer guide for you. I will be going over mechanics that are crucial to playing an at least decent Tracer, and some things that I feel are essential to improving your play. I will go over some of her hero counters, and what you should do if you were to encounter them one-on-one. Please note that this video was made during Overwatch beta. Some of her numbers may have changed since then for balance, but I believe that her overall playstyle, strategy, and techniques will still be the same. I will also post a timeline in the description below. So let's quickly go over her moves before we dive in. Her left mouse button are her dual pistols. These are most effective at close range, and their wide spread make long range damage very minimal. Her E ability is called Recall, in which she teleports back to the location she was 3 seconds ago, and it is used to escape and also heal. Her shift ability is called Blink. It teleports her in the direction she is moving and has 3 charges. I actually created an alternate binding for this and made it my right click, because my right hand reacts more quickly and the distance to push the button is shorter. Give it a shot, it might help you. Lastly, her ultimate is a sticky bomb that deals 400 damage in a small radius that you can stick on the target. The damage decreases away from the center of the blast radius. So that means if you stick it on anyone other than a tank, it will kill them in one shot. So now that we know all the basic moves of Tracer, let's talk about mechanics. The most important part of her is aiming. You want to be able to get headshots whenever you can, so you want to aim either for the neck or the head. They deal twice as much damage, and with good aim, you can pretty much unload a clip into a non-tank and kill them. You can also deal a lot of damage to tanks as well. It will take a little bit longer and it is a little bit more difficult, but it is possible. You also want to get used to aiming with your melee. Your melee hit does only 25 damage, but if they are low, you can pretty much just finish them off. Know the map. You want to know all the secret routes to maps in order to get behind your enemy without being seen. The element of surprise is what makes Tracer so powerful, so knowing all the corridors and map layouts are super important for not only engaging an opponent, but also escaping. You want to use these routes as much as possible to your advantage. Knowledge of the map also means knowing the locations of health packs. Because of Tracer's low health pool, it is even more important for her to be able to quickly get to the nearest health pack in case her health gets low. Not only that, stealing health packs before your opponent gets to them is also a plus, and very annoying to them too. Know the distance of your blink and how many it takes to get to a certain spot. This is important because it allows you to estimate how far you can go unseen by your opponent. The last thing you want to do is blink and not be able to go far enough through an open area and be an easy target. That is, if you're trying to be sneaky. It is also very important to help you maneuver smoothly. When using Blink, do not limit yourself to using it in only the direction you are facing. Tracer blinks in the direction she is moving, so you can actually blink side to side and backwards without looking in those directions. This works diagonally as well. In combination with above, learn to readjust your aim automatically when you blink. If you blink left, change your aim slightly to the right. If you blink right, change your aim slightly to the left. You want to be able to do this automatically without actually thinking about it. It seems very trivial, but it actually helps a lot if you get the muscle memory down without having to react to what you see on the screen. Remember, if you are closer to your target, you will have to turn more drastically and less if you're farther away. This is important because every second you use to readjust counts as bullets and that could have been put into your target. And automatically turning in that general direction makes aiming easier for you to get those headshots. Unless you are blinking straight forwards or backwards, try not to shoot while you are blinking. You should use this time while blinking instead to reload. It's very hard to blink in different directions and readjust your aim, and by the time you adjust, you'll be out of ammo and reloading, which is very inefficient. Instead, blink and reload, and then readjust your aim in the meantime, and then unload your next clip. Keep track of your cooldowns before going into a situation. Be sure that you have enough blinks to do what you want to do. For example, if your recall is on cooldown, you can either use 2 blinks to get in close, use your ultimate, and use another blink to get out. Or, if it isn't on cooldown, you can use 3 blinks to get in farther, use your ultimate, and recall out instead. This is important because you do not want to get into a situation in which you cannot escape from. You always want to be sure that you have an escape route. While keeping track of your blinks, try to always blink towards an area with an escape route nearby, unless you know you are going to recall out. You don't want to blink 3 times into a room without another entrance and be stuck. Listen actively. You want to be able to hear what is going on around you for people using certain abilities to know when they are on cooldown or not. For example, if you don't see a Roadhog but you hear him use his hook nearby, it has a 6-second cooldown. You can use this chance to get in on him and deal some damage. This also means that you should know the general cooldown timer for each hero. This allows you to know when to jump in on opponents, when ultimates are being used, and if you should find cover. Predict enemy movements and shots. This includes hooks, flashes, Pharah rockets, and more. Most of the time, when McCree and Roadhog first see you, they will instantly flash and hook you. Listening to see if they use their cooldowns beforehand can help as well. Also, when predicting shots, be wary of your surroundings when doing so. Of course, this requires you to again know the map. You don't want to be blinking into walls. If you can't blink to the side since you're in a small corridor, it's safer to blink forward twice or backwards to avoid hooks and flashes. You would want to blink sideways though if you can. I will go into hero detail later in the video. However, if you get stunned or hooked and wish to recall out of it, just hold down the E button instead of spamming and timing it. It will get you out as fast as possible. Use recall effectively. You want to use recall to heal and escape, especially if you are at low health. If you had more health 3 seconds ago, using recall will refund that life lost along with adding to any additional health you gained since then. Use recall with your ultimate to escape tight spots, especially when your blink is on cooldown. But you want to be sure to remember where you were 3 seconds ago and whether or not recalling back would be safe and beneficial to you. Pay attention to Junkrat traps and turret locations. This one is hard and requires a lot of attention because you are moving so fast. But it helps a lot if you can avoid the traps, as traps by Junkrat equal to death. You can blink over them, but note that if you get stuck on one, you cannot recall while in the trap. Also, avoiding turrets, which have 100% accuracy, could save you a death, or 2, or 3. Build up your ultimate as soon as possible. This can be done easily on tanks. If no one else is around, aiming for the tank allows you to build up your ultimate the fastest, as you are able to put out more damage on higher HP targets. Note that attacking Zarya's bubble does not give you ultimate charge, but it boosts her damage in return. Go for weak targets and healers. You are considered a harassing hero. You want to finish off any weak targets if they try to escape, and your mobility allows you to do so. Your teammates sometimes can't chase, so make use of your mobility. When using your ultimate, aim for groups, Reinhardt, or healers. I say Reinhardt because people tend to group up behind his shield, making him a good ultimate sticky target. It requires one ultimate plus some headshots to kill tanks. Also, when dealing with Reinhardt, if he's weak, run up to him past his shield if he's not crowded and shoot him. He will either drop his shield to hit you, or if he keeps his shield up, make him spin in circles and find a weak spot. If he drops his shield, be ready to blink away and deal damage. Just be annoying to him and pick away. Kill Torbjorn Turrets when possible. This allows your team to push through locations, if you're on offense, more easily without having to deal with them. If a turret is level 1, you can kill it quickly with your dual pistols as long as you have cover to run back to. If Torb is there, use your ultimate on the sentry and you will most likely kill him. It takes one ultimate to kill a level 1 turret, and for a level 2 and higher, it takes an ultimate and a clip. If your team has a Pharah or a Junkrat, let them take care of it instead, especially if it's level 2 or higher. Do not reveal yourself unless you actually need to. Blinking and shooting from far distance reveals that you are around and which direction you're coming from. You don't want your opponents to know where you are until you're already shooting at them close range. In face-to-face combats where they know where you are, try to stay away from Junkrat, Mei, McCree, Pharah, Winston, and Symmetra. However, if you need to fight any of these, some require strategy, and here is how to do it. Versus Mei. Use recall when you're about to be frozen by her ice gun. It allows you to reset the freezer timer, and you can either try to finish her off or run away after doing so. If she ice blocks after you recall, blink behind her right as she comes out of the block to make her turn around or possibly waste an ice wall. You can also try to stay out of range of her snow gun so you avoid being frozen, but still be able to DPS her down. Versus Roadhog. Around 80% of the time, when Roadhog sees you, he will try to hook you right away. Try to make it a habit to always blink once sideways or behind him, about half a second after seeing him or he sees you. It has a 6-second cooldown, so have that in mind if you haven't killed him in that time, that he can come anytime again after that. Versus McCree. Same as Roadhog, McCree usually flashes you on sight. If you manage to dodge that flash, keep an eye on when he rolls. He will typically flash, fan the hammer, which is his right click that unloads on you, roll, and then fan the hammer again after his roll. If you get hit by his flash, hold E for recall or spam blink to get away. If you survive, Wait for him to roll, and blink away as he rolls because he will fan the hammer again, very likely. Re-engage after he fans the hammer after his roll, and you can probably take him out. Versus Junkrat. Avoid his traps by keeping an eye out. Note that you can also destroy them by unloading your pistols on them if you see one. Also, make him spin around a lot, as it cuts the amount of grenades that could explode in your face in half. Also, whenever you get hit by Junkrat's detonation bomb, always use your recall as a reaction if it's not on cooldown. This is because you are an easy target in the air, and also it does a lot of damage to you and you want to regain your health as fast as possible. Lastly, don't forget, he drops nades after he dies. Versus Pharah. If she's on the ground, just try to DPS her down as soon as possible. If she gets into the air, try to blink right beneath her. It's harder for her to hit you and aim at you when you are right below her. She has to spin around and her aim can only go so far below her. Versus other tracers. This one is all about aim and keeping track of their blinks versus your blinks. Whoever blinks and recalls first has the technical disadvantage. They have a less chance to escape and thus overall a less pool of life. If you manage to make your opponent blink and recall first, you're ahead. But if their aim is better than yours, they can kill you instantly. Try to make yourself hard to hit by blinking regularly in different directions and not using them all at once. Recall when you are low and stall to gain back your blink charges. If you can get around a wall, wait and pre-fire the wall when they come chasing you. Versus Winston. When he pops his bubble, try to stay away from him, lure him out of his bubble, and pick at him if he comes out of the bubble. If he stays in his bubble, don't go near him. Wait for it to die out and then continue shooting him. He will normally run away after that. Do not go near him at all costs unless he is really low and you know you can kill him before he kills you when his shield is up. You cannot out DPS him in close combat. Versus Symmetra. The only tip I really have against her is to catch her away from her sentries. Once you have discovered her location, or the location of her sentries, try to get her when she is not near them, as they deal most of the DPS she can put out. However, her channeling basic attack can still kill you and follows you if she aims in your general direction, so be sure to take her out quickly. Versus Zenyatta. He isn't a direct counter to you, but he can track you with an Orb of Discord and easily line up an attack when you come around a corner. Make sure, if you get it on you, to wait till it wears off. Currently, it is 3 seconds away from his sight, before you jump in again, or else he'll be able to predict your movements and hit you as you come in with an increased damage intake as well. Versus Zarya. Try not to attack her when she has her bubble up on herself or her bubbled teammate. This increases her damage by a percentage, and if she's fully charged, she can kill you very fast. Just avoid that and DPS her down when your bubble is down and you'll be fine. Going against everyone else is pretty self-explanatory. The general thing you need to realize is to aim for the neck and head and stay mobile. Try to blink unpredictably and change it up in the middle of a fight to make your enemies spin around and lose accuracy. This is the core and most important part of playing Tracer well. Be annoying to your opponent and you'll do just fine. Alright, that's it for this guide today. I hope that you found at least some of these tips helpful for improving your Tracer gameplay. If you liked or found this video helpful at all, please hit the like and subscribe button. I'll be continuing this series as time goes on, as I eventually get through each hero. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.